All right, welcome to the show, everybody. We got my boy Tim, and he's
You're back, second two.
dude. You ready for the part two, man? So we're being a little lazy tonight. We're playing by the prison rules, and we're just I'm just using my phone on speakerphone to get my boy Tim Smith on the show. Now we're gonna do a Zoom conversation at some point again, but tonight I'm too drunk and I'm too lazy to do Zoom recordings, so I don't. So I was like, I'm just gonna do what I normally do. So, Tim, what are you up to tonight, my man?
Yeah, well, to prepare myself for covering the big SBF trial, I've infiltrated a prison myself. They put me in there. I got a month in, so I'll know when I'm covering the trial. I know what SBF can expect in there. You know, what kind of vegan food is in prison. What exactly is the situation? So I'll be ready as soon as it goes down.
I don't think I'm ready for it, man. Like, here's the thing. I really do think SBF is. Do you think he's innocent? Do you think there's any degree that he'll be innocent on some of the charges, or do you think he's going to be guilty on majority of the charges? Because I'm wondering, man. Because it's like they can't really get him on securities fraud because crypto is not a security. They can't get him. I think they can get him on general like business malpractice or something. I don't even know if that's a word term, business malpractice. But what are your thoughts, man? Do you think he's going to be guilty on all fronts? Maybe half of them, maybe 25% of the charges. What are you thinking?
No, he'll pay like a small fine, like $200 or something,
Sweet.
and walk away because he apparently people put up $250 million in assets to get him on bail, and he doesn't have to say who did it. He's fighting against, saying who actually put that money up. So he's connected to everyone. His parents are all connected. Everyone's connected. So he'll walk away probably with like almost nothing. He's going to plead not guilty. Apparently, we just found out today. So he's not going to just take like 10, 20 years. He's going to be like, no, I'm going to plead not guilty. And he'll probably get nothing just because of all his connections.
So who do you think was the real mastermind behind it? Do you think it was Carolyn Ellison, or do you think it was the Gary Wang guy? Do you think the real mastermind was really SBF? Because now SBF is technically innocent until proven guilty, and so are all the other people. But if you were to wager, who do you think is most responsible, based on what you know, for the downfall of this operation? Now, don't get me wrong. It was going to go bankrupt eventually. It was a ticking time bomb to begin with, just like all crypto brokerages. But who do you think was the real cause of all this stupidity?
Well, everything you said is true, but I think it was meant to fail. I think his parents are the ones behind this because they're the ones most politically connected, and it seems just to be a giant money laundering scheme where the money went to Alameda, to Ukraine, back to the U.S., and he became like a massive political donor. So I think eventually it would just sort of fail because it was kind of just meant to launder funds as political donations. But part of that is the political connections you get, and with judges and everything else. So part of it was it would fail, but no one would get anything out of it. No one would face any punishment, and then the funds would get where they're supposed to be, which is campaign donations. So the whole thing kind of performed the way it was supposed to. So I don't think anyone gets anything. The donations are already spent, and that's it.
Damn, man. Damn. Well, I'm trying to think about how it's all supposed to go down at this point, because I've been really thinking long and hard about it, man. I'm thinking that like it definitely seems like a money laundering scheme for sure, because it's like,
Yeah, but when people say something's a fail, like people talk about stuff failing, it's no different than other things where money's just funneled to something like you look at like the war in Iraq or Afghanistan, stuff like that, where money was just funneled from taxpayers to like a small group of people who all knew the president, and then it was and that's it. They're like, oh, it was a failure. The war, no, it was supposed to funnel money from one group to another group.
Mm-hmm.
And same with this SBF thing. No, there's no failing. Nobody failed. It was meant to take everyone's money and then funnel it to a small group of people, which is what happened. So it basically accomplished its goal. So I don't think he gets anything. He's too connected. They won't even doesn't have to tell anyone where the $250 million came from to get him out for the next 2 years. So we don't even get to hear that. He's not going to get anything.
Oof. Man, I think what pissed me off the most What pissed me off the most about it, man, you bringing up a lot of interesting facts, man, because I've got to admit, I've been lazy on looking up the trial of SBF and stuff. It's just too depressing in the sense that people could get the wool. I guess the old term is what's the term, like the wool covered over their eyes or something like that so easily. SBF is proof that, like, you know, you could be a what do you call it? He was such a white knight, I guess you could say, like a super, I'm such a goody two shoes and I'll always do the right thing, all this crap. And I just felt like, you know, he's blowing smoke up so many people's asses. It's like, you know, you think we've evolved to the point to where we can recognize a Ponzi scheme, and then Sam Bankman-Fried happens. You know, you think the whole Bernie Madoff thing would never happen again, and then you start to realize it's just as corrupt now as it's ever been. And how many would get to? Oh, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
It's no different than it will be 100 years from now. It's no different than it was 100 years ago. It's like I studied like gypsies, the Romani people, and one of their things is they would take people's jewelry or cash or whatever and tell them, give it to me. We'll bury it somewhere in a field and come back in a month and your money will be doubled. And they'd go back in a month and there'd be nothing left in the box. It's just like these scams have gone on for hundreds of years. They'll keep going on. They're just get-rich-quick things, and people fall for them. And, it's no different than just gypsies burying money in a box in a field. And then you come back and there's always been scams on the street.
Yeah.
There's always been pyramid schemes. So people want to get rich quick. So that's why you're in the dividends. And, you know, the dividend community is really clear. It's like, you're not going to get rich quick. You're not going to really get rich at all. You're going to have a little extra money in retirement. That's all you're getting out of it. That's how you know they're not.
Well, it's funny because I was going to start doing like more marketing towards my dividend videos and start talking about, like, I was going to call it like get rich slow in a sexy way or something like that. You know, I need to like sexify the titles, but I really do want people to know that I'm not promoting get rich quick. Like, I want to promote get rich slow. You know, I mean, technically compound interest does happen pretty quickly later. It's slow at first, but compound interest, you give it 10 years, 20 years, and if you invest heavily, like to start with, and you just keep doing it until that 20-year mark, it starts multiplying a lot quicker. So, like, I tell people, man, it starts slow at first. Think about it this way. It's like you start out as a turtle, and then you end up like, then you evolve into a dragon, I guess you could say. That's the way my investing method works. You know, it's a slow process, but once you get to where you need to be, it's quick. It's speedy.
No, people think that Warren Buffett's joking when they ask him, how did you get so wealthy? And one of the things he says, oh, yeah, also I'm really old. And they think that's like some punchline. It's like, no, that's the truth. That's how investing works. Like, this son of a bitch is like 92 years old. Like, even with my portfolio, I'd have tens of millions if I make it to 92. It's like I'm looking at more like 60 before I want to use these dividends. But if I just let them compound until I'm 92, that could be like $100 million.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Dude, you know, one person I think, I don't know, Strongman's kind of interesting. Strongman Personal Finance. I'd like to see you get on his show somehow. Like, I don't know how.
I watch PPC Ian. Do you watch PPC Ian?
What's his name?
PPC Ian Lopuck.
Did you say PPC? Like,
yeah, PPC Ian. He got me started on dividends. And same with Gary. Do you know Gary from Dark Dividend?
Actually, don't know Gary. Actually, I need to write these down. Actually, I'm going to just type them out real quick on my computer.
But like, all these people are just the most autistic weirdos. It's like they've got to be onto something.
I think I'm an autistic. I legitimately think I'm an autistic weirdo, to be honest. But that's how I see myself.
No, that's who wins in stocks.
Now, what was it? PPC Ian, you said?
Yeah, the PPC stands for pay per click, because he used to do pay per click online marketing.
Oh,
so
dude, I like it. Dude, pay per click online marketing is actually kind of cool. I mean, it depends on which type of marketing. Like, if you're doing like Google Ads or something, like Google AdSense or whatever, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that's what he was doing, and then.
Oh,
yeah,
I do know this guy.
I invest
I've watched
for
only a couple of
dividends.
his videos. Oh.
Yeah, he basically taught it to me. If you go back like 5 years to his early videos, it's just him with a little whiteboard in like his garage or in his backyard or something. And he breaks it down really simply how it works. That kind of helped teach me what's going on.
Mm-hmm. I just subscribed to him. What's the other guy you just mentioned though? I've subscribed to PPC Ian so I don't forget.
Dark Dividend. He's good at just finding stocks and letting you evaluate him, but he finds a lot. His name's Gary Merce, but he goes by Darth Dividend, like Darth Vader.
Sweet, because I like promoting other channels, and these guys look like they're, they look like they're already doing pretty well already, but I like to promote other channels that I think are...
Because it's like PPC Ian probably, I think he's got millions invested, because his other careers, real estate, and he's done other things too. He's got millions invested.
What is going on, ET
Gary
Nations?
from Dark Dividend's got about 30,000 invested. So you see like the two ends of it. And there's other people, I can't remember who else I follow, but they have like maybe like a few 100,000. Financialism. Do you know Georgie from It's spelled fun, F-U-N, Financialism.
Mm-hmm.
You might know that guy too, but he's got like 300 grand. So I've got like millions and then 300 grand and then 30 grand. So those are the three I follow, and they're like different tiers and levels so I can see what they're doing.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, yeah, just so I subscribed to Darth Dividends just now as well because I want to make sure. I love it, man. I like hearing about new channels that I'm kind of familiar with, or just maybe I've never heard of. But yeah, PPC Ian, I've actually seen the dude a couple of times in a few videos at random searching for dividends videos. But yeah, overall, man, when it comes to dividends, man, like I hate it when. Now, my boy Strongman and we've talked about this. Like, I told him, like, I love dividend stocks, but if just because it has a dividend doesn't mean I'm investing in it. It's got to be a good company, man. It better not be shitty. It's got to have cash flow, man. If it don't have cash flow, I'm going to say hell no. Hell to the no, baby.
Well, what's funny about PPC Ian is he's all about living this great life, like healthy eating. He lost a bunch of weight. He was jogging. He's got this family. He pulled his family out of San Francisco, where I'm from, or where he's from, and he moved to Idaho to get away from the crime and everything. And he sometimes will do a video from Hawaii, and he'll do like it's all about living great. But then someone will ask him, "Hey, what about your sin stocks? What about your tobacco companies? What about Pepsi? What about your defense contractors?" It's funny for the Pepsi one. He's just, you know what I say to them? Hey, live a little. Nothing's wrong with having a Pepsi or something.
Yeah.
It's just funny because like he doesn't drink it. But then the defense contractor one, because he's got all this Raytheon stock. He's like, see, I appreciate the defense industry because I believe in defending your country, not attacking other countries. I believe in defending your country. It's like, and then he just moves on. It's like, well, is that really how it works? Sounds like a lot of Raytheon getting shipped to other parts of the world. It's just funny. He just sort of leaves it at that. Like there's this slight dark thing behind it that he never really gets into. But it's just like, you know what? I don't want to know. Whatever. Just give me your tips and we're good. I don't need to know anymore.
I love it, man. I love it. No, that's my kind of thing, man. No, dude, I got to look more into them, though. But yeah, one of my philosophies is, so one of the things I look for in a company, and this is going to sound terrible of me to say, but I look for how addictive are their products. Like, I want a company that markets well, don't get me wrong, but I want to, like, for instance, Starbucks. I think Starbucks is absolute garbage, but I'm not against investing in them. Because I know how addicting coffee is, and I know how addicting their brand is, I guess. Because they load their shit with caffeine, and caffeine's addictive, and they're going to keep people coming back as long as those suckers got money. So, like, also same with tobacco products. I'm not against investing in Philip Morris, even though I despise cigarettes. I know cigarettes are addictive, and the only thing, keeping them from not selling it would be laws. Like laws preventing it, but oh man. But yeah,
well, it's the main ETF I have has stuff that I don't like. I don't like Disney, but they stuck some Disney in there. I don't like this company, I don't like that company, but it's in there, and then it starts to change your whole perspective on life. You're like, you start to realize, well, let's say I told everyone what to do, and only buy products I like or support. Is anyone going to listen to me? No. No one listens to me at all. So then what's the other option? I guess I can try and make money off these people then.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Eat all the Doritos you want, drink all the Pepsi you want. You're not going to listen to me anyway.
Yeah.
So then just give me my cut. That's all I'm saying.
The best way to make money off the collective is own the businesses. Try to find ways to own the businesses the collective likes to consume. And that's the thing, man. That's what I do, man. I'm so diversified, it scares me. Well, I mean, I'd be more diversified.
Funds, right?
Oh, say what?
You do those index funds, right?
Well, I do index funds, but I'm pretty much an individual investor for the most part.
Okay.
So I do have VT, which is the Vanguard Total World Index, which has like 9,000 different holdings in equal weight. But
yeah,
at the same time, man, I'm pretty much all about the what do you call it? I just individually find companies that I know are good, well established, that don't suck ass, and I'll lay down at least one share. Like I'll buy like this. It sounds funny because you're probably thinking, well, why would you buy just one share of a company? It's like, well, why not? I mean, I don't have to pay a commission fee. I could buy one whole share of a company. All right, fuck it. And then I'll just buy one share of other companies that are great too. Now I typically stack my positions. Like I typically start with one share, but then I'll add up over time, a little more here, a little more there. And I just kind of add as I see fit, I'll buy the dip sometimes on a good company. If Coca-Cola goes down, I'm buying more Coca-Cola, stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that's the ideal way to do it. That's basically what PPCE does. And that's what Darth Dividend does too, except he has a lot of smaller companies that pay high dividends, a little riskier, but he's got a lot of them. He's got a lot of companies. I think he's up to a few $100s a month in dividends.
That's incredible.
And it's all from this company gives him $5, that company, but he's got a lot of companies now. Like that guy, PPC Ian just had a guy on a couple weeks ago who'd been on the show before, but the guy just retired early from dividends. He might be in his late 40s or something, but I think he's making around $50,000 a year on dividends. And he's got some, big companies like Microsoft, I think, but he's also got a lot of just BDCs and closed-end funds and stuff that are, high dividend yields that he's generating from that too. But yeah, I think that's the ideal way to do it. I just threw everything into one ETF, and then I've got a few other things like AIP I told you about. But it's just because mathematically the compounding, if it's all spread out, it's not going to compound as much. Mm-hmm. But so I'm taking a bit more of a chance though. Ideally, it's better to spread it out. If some of these, if my little ETF fails, which isn't impossible. I don't know what these people are doing behind the scenes. It seems like it seems to have passed all the regulations, but it could be some sort of scam. And it's covered call, so it's medium risk. So I'm putting all in that. But now they've kind of solidified that, maybe I'll spread out more. But yeah, ideal. I think what you're doing is optimal. Maybe have some index funds, but it's ideal to look at individual companies like you're doing, and then go from there. It's better. The diversity is kind of better in a way.
See, my only problem with index funds is that if you diversify across the board, you have to also think how much fucking filth is in the index fund, right? So, for example, with the VT, the Vanguard Total World Index, there's 9,000 holdings. But out of those 9,000, how many of those are really profitable and how many of those are really shit? Well, the majority of them are sadly shit, but the reason that you have the diversification is just in case. It's kind of more of a security blanket than it is a compounding effect. No, but one of the reasons why I love individually investing in companies that I just believe are good based on actual, earnings data, based on their product pipelines, how they're managed. There's a lot of factors that go into evaluating a company. I try not to overcomplicate it, but I will say that I will buy the Vanguard Total World Index when it dips. When it dipped in I don't remember, it was December. No, it was November, I think, is when it dipped really heavily. I can't remember the exact month, to be honest. I just remember I ended up buying a whole bunch of Vanguard Total World Index as it dipped, because it's not going to compound quickly, but I still think even an index fund that's so diversified is way more valuable than holding on to the dollar. I'm still a firm believer that cash is trash. I'm still all about profitable companies though. I mean, if people were to come up to me and say, "Hey, do you want to own Coca-Cola? Hey, do you want to own Pepsi?" It's sure. I may not own all of it. I may be a minority shareholder no matter what I do, but at least I'm still technically an owner. You know what I mean? So it's fun to own businesses. I collect businesses the same way, people collect Pokemon cards. You know what I mean? That's kind of the way I look at it.
I Financialism, I told you, it actually does collect Pokemon cards. But
Oh wait, who does? Sorry, I
but,
didn't hear.
but you're right, though. The other thing is you get is dividend increases.
Yeah.
With my little ETF, I'm not going to get a lot of dividend increases. Index fund kind of waivers, but a lot of companies, like you talk about Starbucks, even though their stock tanked for a while, they were still increasing their dividend. Like T. Rowe Price's stock tanked. I think they're increasing their dividend. So with that, with not just like index or ETFs, you're going to get better dividend increases too over time.
Exactly, too. And that's the thing, man. That's why I'm such a dividend guy. Because whenever I'm looking for something, anything, I want to make sure that because it's a profitable company, I want to make sure those dividends are increasing over time too. Yeah, do I like it if the principal increases? I mean, you bet your ass I do. That's a good thing. That's typically it's a good thing when a company's growing. But yeah, for me, man, I'm a never sell kind of guy. That's pretty much my philosophy, man. I hate selling. I don't sell any of my stocks. I typically use all my dividends to buy more stocks, and on very rare occasions, I'll use my dividends to cover a cost in my, like an expense in my real life. But that's on very rare occasions. So.
Right. Yeah, like in retirement, if you keep these dividends, you're going to want the increases just to keep up with inflation and, not have to sell the stock. So, I think that's ideal, kind of what you're doing. So, but yeah, TPC is talking about index funds. He's like, with index funds, you're guaranteed the average. I want to be better than average. It's so funny.
Yeah, I still think you should remain diversified, though. Like I say, never put all your eggs in one basket. I still believe put your eggs in multiple high quality baskets, I guess would be the analogy. You know what I mean? Because with an index fund like the VT, you're putting your eggs in all sorts of different baskets, high quality baskets, poor quality baskets. But if you just try to put your eggs in high quality baskets, like high quality companies, for instance, then your chances of succeeding, not only are you diversified as a security blanket, but you're also investing in fantastic companies. I use the analogy of, would you rather invest in a beat up, disgusting home, or would you rather invest in a mansion? Sure, you're going to pay more for the mansion, but the mansion's value will increase probably just as well over time. Stuff like that. That's a weird analogy, probably, but I'm going off on a tangent. My bad.
No, it's true. You got to really I notice a lot of restaurant companies here in Canada pay dividends, but it's just like, how many restaurants have come and gone in the last 100 years? How many we thought would be here forever and now they're gone, and then there's other ones that kind of have been around a long time. It's just, what if the market changes? What if supply lines change? I'm always looking at restaurants because they're always like, it's just like, what if people don't want to eat that anymore? What if the demographic, who knows?
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm all about diversification, man, because I just never know when the tides will change. And some of the companies that you may invest in, who knows, maybe they'll get bought out by another company and maybe they'll do better. And you'll still
or they get bought out and you get a nice payout because they get bought for way more than the share prices were.
And that's kind of the goal. That's another reason why I love buying great companies, because even if a great company kind of dips a bit in value, you never know who's going to buy them out. You might end up getting a fat payday out of it. And also, people don't take into account share buybacks. There's a lot of companies that are high quality that do share buybacks where they'll try to take out shares out of circulation, making your existing shares valuable, because they're trying to buy back a lot of the shares.
That could happen in this succession. If everything starts tanking, companies might start to buy back their own shares if they get low enough. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love share buybacks.
That could happen this year.
Oh, but yeah, dude, I just realized we've been on the phone for like 24 minutes, bro. Oh my God, I will admit I'm totally beat. It's just been a long day today, and I just appreciate you actually wanting to do just a standard phone interview, man. I know that this is the lazy way to do it, and next time I'd rather do a Zoom interview with you, man. That's more fun to me. I like having that face.
I'm gonna have a better set next time. I'm working on costumes. It's gonna be a much better situation, but it was a good pilot run last time just to get it going. But
well, hey, don't worry about the set, man. Don't worry about the set, man. I don't care about that. It's the person that I want, and that's you, man. I want you next time. I want you on Zoom. It doesn't have to be anything fancy or anything, but hey, man, if you want to spice it up, I say go for it.
Well, it's funny you told me Happy New Year because today is actually my New Year. I count today as New Year because it's my first payday of the New Year. So tonight when my check clears at midnight, I'm already putting in stock orders for tomorrow morning. And then we're just taking off from here. That stock I told you about, AIP, I'm going to attempt to buy more of that. But it only seems they sell like 300 shares at a time. So I'll see if I can at least get that out of it.
Oh, hell yeah, man. I love it. Woo. Yeah, it's funny because I've just been busy doing all sorts of crap. Now the holidays are finally over, so like I'm just happy the holidays are fucking over. That's all I gotta say, man. But yeah, dude, I
just realized how much weight I gained. I gained a ton of weight in the last 2 weeks. So I gotta get back to the gym or something.
Oh man. Well, here I'm gonna keep you on the phone, man. But I am actually just gonna stop recording I'll just like talk to you 5 minutes on the phone after.
Wait, what are your fence pulled again? The Garzanators or the Garza Army? Hey, Garza Army.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So I call all my viewers bronies. You know, like the My Little Pony people. Like, you know, the guys that like My Little Pony. I call my guys I call them bronies. I don't know, I just love the word brony, so I call my audience the bronies. My brony brothers.
Well, Martin Scully was Pharma Bro. You can be a Dividend Brony.
Oh, Dividend Brony. Oh my God. That's a great idea. All right, man. So I'm gonna keep you on the phone, but here I'm just gonna stop recording real quick. I'm stopping recording right now.